This is the Titanfall 2 maps tier list. I'm going to be ranking them from S tier all the way down to if Titanfall 3 comes, this should not come back. So if it's in this tier, it should not be returning in any way, shape, or form. It's a terrible map. I'll be judging these on how well they play as a pilot and how well they play as a Titan. Some maps are way better as a pilot. Some maps are way better as a Titan. The ones that are good at both are going to be the ones that hit up in S tier. And the ones that are like not as good will be in like D or the bottom tier. Right off the bat, we got Angel City, which looks freaking gorgeous all the damn time. I always thought Angel City is one of the greatest maps in video game history, like period. It's so perfectly designed. It's great as a pilot. Like there's plenty of skyscrapers and walls to wall run off, do some cool tricks, use stim. You can even successfully get away because there's a lot of interior areas. So it's not like you're being just bombarded with Titans left and right. So there's a lot of good counterplay against Titans as a pilot. And even as a Titan though, the streets are just built really well where like you have a lot of these wide streets between every single building and you can walk around them. So it becomes like this really awesome city that fits both the Titans and the pilots really well while simultaneously being very, very aesthetically pleasing. I really love Angel City. Our first map ever in S tier. Already, right off the bat, we're starting strong. Next up, we got Blackwater Canal. Okay, this one has like some problems that I don't really love about it. I know it's like the point of it is that it's a big canal. So like you have like the main area, which is above like the canal area. The buildings are a little bit low. So it's not like they're like the best, like for moving and doing some cooler like wall running stuff. And as a Titan, it feels like a little bit wonky to get back up to the main area, which doesn't feel too great in some scenarios where you have to call your Titan in a little bit of an awkward spot. But like in general, I don't think the flow of this map is that bad. It's not bad at all by any means. It's definitely just a very average map in my opinion. I think it plays very decently in general, but like not perfect. So I'd probably put it in B tier. I think Blackwater Canal is a B tier map. For all the Blackwater Canal fans out there, please forgive me. Okay, next up we got Boomtown. We got the Boomtown. It's a mixed bag. There's these areas that are like really open, more on like the edge of the map that feel a little bit awkward as both a pilot and as a Titan. I think Boomtown plays very well. I think Boomtown is like a pretty solid map in general. I think it does what Blackwater Canal does, but a little bit better because some of the buildings are just a little bit more fun to slide and wall run on. While playing as a Titan can feel a little bit wonky because there's like this main long lane that you can walk through that cuts through the main part of the map. It kind of becomes difficult to go like left and right on the map. Like if you go like vertically down the map, like that's fine, but horizontally it can be a little bit difficult as a Titan, but it's not that bad. There's like, it's very circular. You can basically just chill on the outskirts of Boomtown and be fine. There's some glitches on this map that I recall. People were basically able to climb up to the top of Boomtown and like just chill up there. It was annoying in North Star because people were like playing Infection and they would just like hide at the top, and that was a little bit annoying. But beyond that, I think this map suffers from one big issue, and that's that sometimes when it comes to like the amount of cover that you actually have to fight against Titans, I do feel like when there's way more Titans on the other team, it can be a little bit overwhelming. It becomes like easy to snowball on this map. But in general, I do like it. I do like Boomtown a lot. I'm gonna put it in B tier above Blackwater Canal. I think B tier for Boomtown is fair. Which map is this one? This is one of the Coliseum maps, right? This is the blank Coliseum map. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the blank one is very underwhelming. I find the 1v1s in the blank one kind of like whatever. Like you're forced to kind of just chill on the outskirts and use that as your speed for wall running. Yeah, not having any cover or anything to like jump on is a little bit lame. I think there could be way better Coliseum maps. And I think just having like a Final Destination equivalent is not great. Yeah, if Titanfall 3 comes, don't bring Final Destination back. Let's just put, let's just put it in don't come back, okay? This Coliseum map, all it has compared to the other one is just 3 pillars. And those 3 pillars put it up 3 whole areas. I'm gonna put it in top of B tier. I think it's a very solid Coliseum map. It just creates good cover. You can do some more trick shots with the middle pillars. I just think it's a lot more fun. Is everybody ready for the next one? Colony! I personally adore Colony. I think Colony has the right amount of like openness on the outskirts while a lot of crazy amount of shenanigans on the inside with that one really big pillar that like in the dead center that makes it really fun to grapple around. I think this map is like really solid, but let's be honest, I think Titans have a field day on this map. Like I do think that like if it's just pilot v pilot, like S tier map, when it includes like attrition and stuff, I do think Titans have a slight advantage, like just a slight advantage. In general, I do think this map is one of my favorites, and I'm gonna put it in A tier. I think A tier is a solid spot for Colony. Complex is the definition of a C tier map. I'll explain. I think the interior areas don't work that well. It feels a little too claustrophobic at times. times. The movement inside the buildings feel really clunky. I don't really enjoy the interior areas that much. There's a couple cool areas that exist in this map where there's like, you know, parts that are like a little more outside-ish, but in general, I don't love playing as a Titan on this map. I feel like playing as a Titan just feels way too claustrophobic. Playing as a pilot doesn't feel like amazing either. But don't get me wrong, I do think there are great moments that can be had on this map because there are some areas that do save this map in general. I feel like complex, definition of C tier, right? It doesn't do anything atrociously wrong. There's nothing that like makes me want to throw up or vomit, and it's not like a D tier map. It's still a very gorgeous looking map, but I just don't like playing on it as much as other maps, especially when the next map is for this map. I hate Crash Site. I think Crash Site is one of the worst maps in this game. I know some people really like it. I genuinely think it's one of the more fun maps to play as a Titan, but I hate it as a pilot because of all the rocks. The rocks make it really awkward and like a little bit stupid at times. Sometimes you're like forced to mantle for no reason. I really hate Crash Site's like areas and the way that the rocks work for wall running and like jumping around and stuff, dude. I don't like Crash Site. Is it the worst map in the world? Does it deserve not to come back? No, I think they could fix it and make it like, it's still one of the more pretty maps too. Like I think I can't knock it for trying something new. At least unlike a lot of these other maps that kind of have like the samey color and the samey vibe, at least Crash Site is a little bit unique in terms of its aesthetic. So I'll probably put it in D tier. But yeah, I don't like Crash Site. Sorry. Now we're on to some live fire maps. As you guys know, I'm a big Pilot v Pilot guy. I love live fire maps, and Deck in particular is one of my favorite live fire maps. Deck is also just a really well-designed map that I feel like could be made in like other games. For live fire, it's a great time. I know some people may think like the inner area is a little annoying, like you just yeet a bunch of grenades and get like free kills. Every single other part of this map just feels really solid in terms of its flow. Docks is going in A tier below Colony. Now we have the other dock. Dry dock is like pretty average. I don't know anyone that like adores Dry dock. Compared to a lot of these other maps that are coming up later, like I don't feel like Dry dock is anything to write home about, you know? It's like, I don't think there's anything here that you're gonna go call your mom and be like, yo, I played on this map Dry dock. It changed my life. It didn't. Let's be honest. It's not changing anybody's life. It's fine. I do think the center area where like where the spaceship is, it ends up being where a lot of pilots gravitate towards. So sometimes you can end up getting like 2, 3, 4 kills or just dying instantly in that center area. In general, I'm gonna put it bottom of B tier. I think that's fair for Dry dock. Then we got Eden. Eden, I don't know how I feel about Eden. I kind of don't love it. I think the idea of like the train track in Eden is really fun and a really obvious like landmark that really like lets you know what map you're on. But besides that, everything else is kind of basic. I think it can be fun in some game types. For that reason, I don't think it's like anything bad. I think it's going to be at the top of C tier though. That's where I'm at, okay? Then we got Exoplanet. This map's pretty fun. I like the way that all the buildings are a lot rounder. They're a little bit more rounded in general. Exoplanet has one of the most pretty sunsets. I feel like when you think of Titanfall's color scheme, you think of Exoplanet and forward Base Kodai in terms of like just the sunset, just that pink orange vibe that you get. I genuinely think that Exoplanet has like one of the cooler building aesthetics. It's fun for pilots. It's fun for Titans. You can basically run like anything on this map and be fine, which is fun. Like you can run a Kraber, you can run an SMG. Like I just think it's a really balanced and really solid map, and it's so pretty. I'm putting it in S tier. I'm putting it right below Angel City in S tier. I like Exoplanet. Exoplanet is super awesome. It's super cool. It's super cool. Forward Base Kodai is like super iconic because it's like reminiscent of like the main campaign. But to be honest with you, personally, I don't really like the top of the map. It's like one really, really big building, and the interior of the building is really fun to fight in. But beyond that, it just becomes like this flat kind of dead space all throughout the top that I don't really enjoy fighting on. Even as a Titan, I'm just like, ugh, this is like everyone's just hiding underground. No one's gonna be looking at us. The moment Titans start popping up on this map, I feel like it becomes like a rat fest where people are like, I don't want to go outside. They're all on the roof, but if I stay underneath them, like I don't have to fight them. And I think that makes it like really boring at times, you know, where it feels like the entire map like kind of changes the moment Titans show up. But beyond that, it's a pretty map. I'd probably put it at the bottom of C tier. I think it's actually worse than it's better than Complex, like right there. That's fair. Yo, up next we got Glitch, baby. Oh, dude, do we even have to explain Glitch? It is the coolest map in terms of like aesthetics. It has the most unique layout. It's so gorgeous. There was a reason that it was Glitch 24/7 for a while, man. And there's a Minecraft version of North Star. That one looks amazing. Glitch is just such a freaking perfect map. It's so close to perfection. Do you guys hear that? Do you hear the angels? S plus, baby. God damn, we love Glitch. All my homies love Glitch. Okay, we're on to Homestead. I absolutely hate Homestead. I don't care if you like Homestead. I hate the caves. I hate that there's an open area where the only thing you can grapple or wall run on is one circular weird building. I genuinely think I hate it more than Crash Site because at least Crash Site has walls. The buildings suck. It's just so open. It might be the worst pilot made map, like on God. I'm putting you in this tier. I think this is Meadows. It's a good map. I think the rocks are a little bit clunky. That caused me to be a little bit frustrated with it. But in general, it is so gorgeous. It is so fun. I like Meadows. It's great for live fire. I feel like it creates some crazy scenarios that occur. Is it perfect though? Is it S tier? Hell no. Hell no. It's bottom A tier. It's below docks for me. Okay. Don't yell at me. I don't really love Relic. I think Relic suffers from a really weird map choice. I think Relic decided to make like this huge middle center building thing that splits the map in half. And what it does is actually make the map feel very disjointed. You know what I mean? I don't hate it though. I don't think it's bad, but I do find it very just like, I don't know, a little bit all over the place in terms of what it's supposed to be doing. It has its moments, but I don't love it. I don't hate it. I just think it's just not designed super duper well. So I'd probably put it at C tier. I think that's where Relic should go. Okay, now we got Rise. Rise is weird, man. Like Rise's biggest issue for me is like the little tiny walls that make it so your Titans can't like walk to the next area. It makes sense why they do that for balance purposes, but it just feels really tedious at times when you're a Titan. In general though, I do think it's one of the more fun maps to wall run on. I think it's too big, so on Pilot v Pilot, it's not really that great. And I think it's too cramped for Titans. I don't love it for either option. I don't hate it either, but yeah, it's just very mid. Probably above, like right there, C tier as well. Yo, we got Stacks. Before you come at me, this is my favorite live fire map. I think Stacks is so great. I know for some people when they think of live fire, they think of Meadows, but Stacks has always been a fun time for me. You know me, I love getting on Stacks, 1v1 me on Stacks. I love Stacks. Stacks is great. Stacks is love. Stacks is life. I love Stacks, bro. I'm putting it in S tier. I think it's super fun, man. Okay, now we got Township. I like Township. The buildings are fun. It feels like you can do a lot of like goofy shenanigans through the windows of Township. Is it better than Meadows? No. I think it's a solid B tier. Like the top of B tier, I think is where it belongs. Township just is, it's fine. I feel like it's just like a worse version of Meadows. That's the problem I have with Township. It's like Meadows with less trees and more buildings. I have a hot take here. I don't like traffic. Maybe it's not a hot take. Maybe people also don't like it. I really hate traffic. I think it's just a dumb map. I think traffic is just like, oh, I made a wall and I put two sides and all we have is like cars as cover. Such a mid map, man. It was such a like, and I know people are very nostalgic for traffic, but I think like above Crash Site, D tier. If it came back, you know, I wouldn't be like super upset. They probably could fix it. They just have to put a little more cover. Maybe some bigger trucks. I don't know. Or a building. Maybe just put two random like stacks of boxes on either side just to give it some flavor. But otherwise, it's just like, ugh, kind of bad. Is this UMA? I feel like I never play on this map. Of all the live fire maps, I don't feel like I play on UMA like ever. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's one of the least played on ones. I feel like I play on traffic more for some reason. UMA is pretty fun though. UMA is good. It's a little bit on the forgettable side, but I do think it's a good map. Like I do think when you're playing live fire, it's always a good option. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that, man. I'm putting it in a middle B tier right there. Finally, we got War Games, and War Games is one of the most aesthetically pleasing maps of all time. It is just so gorgeous. I feel like War Games, we all know it's gonna be up here, but where is it? Is it S? Is it S plus? Like, I don't know. Let's be honest, man. It's great. It's so fun to play as a pilot. It's so fun to play as a Titan. It's got crazy movement options. It's got those like glowing neon glass things on that you can wall run on, and it feels really nice and gorgeous. Do you hear that? Oh my God. S plus. But below glitch. Nothing beats glitch. Yeah, don't ever get it twisted. This is my final tier list for Titanfall 2 maps. Only 2 maps I really don't want to see coming back, but let's be honest, if Crash Site and Traffic didn't show up, no one would be upset. Honestly, if anything C tier downwards didn't make a return, I don't think anybody would be crying about it. There ain't no stands of any of these maps. I mean, there might be, I don't care enough though, but anything B tier and up, if they all got remade in the new game, in a new Titanfall 3, I think that'd be sick. Plus, including a bunch of new maps, I think that'd be really fun.